Hey, VC, it's Jonathan, the cheap and cheerful record collector. Must be bored because I'm doing 2 videos in one day, being locked in the house here doing under 14-day quarantine, hitting day 8 today. There's this thread going around of showing songs under 2 minutes and songs over 10 minutes. So I'm going to combine them and make one video and call it Under and Over. So I decided not to do any jazz because that's too easy to do jazz over 10 minutes. It could be virtually anything on my selection here. So I eliminated that. We're going sticking mostly rock and roll here and folk kind of things. So first song popped right into my head when I knew they were doing songs over 10 minutes. First thing obvious to me was Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant. 18 minutes and 20 seconds, a classic from 1967. Took this to college with me, played it all the time. Everybody knows Alice's Restaurant. Seemed obvious at 18, 20 seconds. Next one is a song from maybe my top 5 album of all time. And it's Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde. And it's Sad Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, coming in at 11 minutes and 22 seconds. Not one of those songs like the Allman Brothers or The Dead where they jam for 20 minutes. It's 11, 22 seconds of Dylan singing and lyrics. I know they say when he sang this live, he used to have the lyrics taped onto the microphone because he could keep going through them because they were so long and involved. But a great album. This is a repress, mono repress. I got sick of looking for an original mono and bought this mono repress. Sounds freaking beautiful. So, Sad Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, 11 minutes and 22 seconds. Next one of the great groups of all time, Cream. And this is from Wheels of Fire. Spoonful, 16 minutes, 44 seconds. You all know Cream, Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce. Like I always say, I'm old enough and lucky enough, got to see them twice. Great stuff. And Spoonful, 16:44. Speaking of the Grateful Dead, how can you do a selection of songs over 10 minutes and not feature the Dead? So my favorite is Live in Europe 1972, 3-record set. This is my favorite Dead album. Whoops. So the song I'm picking off this one is this particular version of Morning Dew, 10 minutes and 35 seconds. I could have easily gone with the version of Truckin' on here, which is 13 minutes and 8 seconds. A great album. Actually, one of my personal favorite of all the Dead albums. Live in Europe 72. They're really at their height. They were kicking there. And finally, the fifth song of over 10 minutes. Another great classic rock man is Jimi Hendrix. And this is from the band of Gypsies live at the Fillmore East, New Year's Eve. And the song is Machine Gun, which is 12 minutes and 38 seconds. I'm sure everybody knows that. New Year's Eve, 1969, 1970. Jimi Hendrix. All right, then we go into songs under 2 minutes. This was a little bit harder. I found a lot of the ones I was thinking about didn't have time signatures on the albums, and it was hard to find the exact times on them. So these are the ones I found. And the first thing that came to my mind right away was this man is Elvis Costello and the Attractions. This album is not a song that's over 3 minutes. Almost every song is around 2 minutes, but the one I chose was Black and White World, 1 minute and 54 seconds. Fantastic. Elvis just cranking them out, song after song after song. 2-minute power pop hits are just fantastic. Great album. Next one, I went back to the classics and went for Chuck Berry. This is, on this album, This is Brown-Eyed Handsome Man, comes in at 1 minute and 48 seconds. This is a nice repress of rarities, stereo mixes, and original demos. Things, this is Brown-Eyed Handsome Man, happens to be the second version stereo mix, recorded in 1961. So these are all interesting albums. I have a couple of his albums, obviously, but again, old enough, lucky enough, saw Chuck Berry. When I saw Chuck Berry at the in New York, it was at the Fillmore East before it became the Fillmore East. It was called the Village Theater. And he used to travel around and just pick up whatever local band was there to back him up. So when I happened to see him, the local band that was backing him up that day was the Blues Project with Al Cooper. And they were the backup band for Chuck Berry at that time. This was before the Fillmore East opened, but at that same theater. There you go, Chuck Berry. A little personal light there. Next one of my faves, also lucky enough to see her a couple of times, Janis Joplin, and Pearl Mercedes-Benz comes in at 1 minute and 45 seconds. Her posthumous album, released right after she passed away. Great record, really great record. Mercedes-Benz, sort of a fun little ditty, 1 minute and 45 seconds. Flying Burrito Brothers, and this is Burrito Deluxe, with obviously Graham Parsons and Chris Hillman, Sneaky Pete. Song of this one I chose was If You Gotta Go, 1 minute and 47 seconds. Burrito Deluxe. And last but not least, one of the great power pop groups of all time, only put out one album officially, but just one of my absolute favorites is Rockpile. Dave Edmunds, Nick Lowe. Song of this one is Now and Always, 1 minute and 56 seconds. Though one of my all-time favorite albums. There you go. They put out a bunch of albums after this, listed as a Dave Edmunds album, but it's basically the same group, and a couple of Nick Lowe albums, which is basically the same group. But for some contractual reasons, they couldn't call them Rockpile, so they called them Nick Lowe albums or Dave Edmunds albums. But it's basically Rockpile, the same group. Never got to see them, unfortunately, but I hear they were something else in concert. Someone once said they were, Rockpile was Chuck Berry on speed, or amphetamine, so makes sense. So that's my over and under, 5 over, 5 under. Hope everybody's staying safe out there, washing their hands, and keeping the distance from everybody else. And hopefully everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. And until next time, peace.